Okay. So our first unit, that is basically about the basics of the financial management, why this concept has arisen, or why we come into the financial management has come into existence. So today we will cover all these units. So everyone who has not attended even my previous lecture can listen to these videos. I mean, you can listen to it, then you will be able to understand like what we have covered earlier. So just drop a message in your group. Only 14 students are there. So the revision is basically for everyone, because after my this syllabus get completed, I will not be giving you any revision further, because once I complete, I have already completed the 2 units. Now I'll take up the revision, and afterward, if you ask me that, ma'am, once again after the syllabus is covered, just take a revision for this. No, I'm not going to take that. So just drop a message in your official group right now.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. If the PDF which I have shared, is it visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So we'll start with what is a business finance. So finance is basically like anything which you provide money at the time when it is required. So it is basically like whenever there is a requirement in the business, you are providing the cash for that. That is known as the business finance. So you are providing, either you are running a bit medium scale business, small scale, or even a large scale business. So you need to understand the finance is basically, you can say, the life of any business, because you need finance for each and every activity. Like if you have to purchase the raw material, so if you don't have the cash, you can't purchase the raw material. So how you will start with the production? So start up with the production, you need the raw material. For that raw material, if I want to tell you, so for that raw material, what you are requiring is basically the cash. Okay, then now you have purchased the raw material. Now you have to look into the machinery part. So if you have to look into the machinery part, okay, you have to start up with your production. You need cash. Okay, so that is why the term business finance come into existence. So what is it? Like finance is, you can say, the provision of money at the time when it is required. So it is basically according to the requirement of the business. You are providing cash whenever it is required by the business. Either it is for purchasing the raw material, machinery, starting up with paying the wages, salaries. So these are all the part for which the finance is being required. Okay, although many of the requirements are being met by credit also, but still, you, even if you have taken up the credit, then you need to pay it back. So obviously business finance is known as the, that is why it is rightly said, the lifeblood of an enterprise. That means if you have the this finance with you, only then you can run a business. Even if it is a very small concern, you need to pay to your suppliers, you need to pay to your you can say the persons who are being employed in your organization. So that is why business finance. So what is a finance? So finance may be defined as the art and science of managing money. It includes financial services and financial instrument. Okay, so financial services and financial instrument both come into the finance term only. Okay, so what is the finance service? Finance service is like providing the cash as and when requirement, and various financial instruments are there. Like you can get the cash from various things, like even a bank overdraft, then cash credit. So these are basically the financial instrument which are providing you, or even the money market, capital market, like the instrument which you are using to make the cash available to you according to your requirement. So finance is referred as the provision of money at the time when it is needed. So finance is the procurement of fund and their effective utilization. So one thing you need to understand, like finance is not only providing the money, it is also the effective utilization. So what is the effective utilization? If you can understand, effective utilization means that you have to use it optimally. Optimally means that the funds which you have employed give you the profits at the time you have employed. Suppose you have invested 10,000 rupees in a business, so it will be profitable for you if you are gaining interest out of it. Like if you are invested 10,000, then it will be giving you something. It is not like that you have invested 10,000 and you are achieving a profit of only 8,000. So it will not even meet your cash which you have employed in your business. So it should be something that you provide. You basically first find out what is my requirement, then you decide, okay, I have to get that cash and I have to employ it profitably so that I'm able to generate more funds. So in business, whenever you are employing your funds, it is basically the generation of money. It is not like कि invest कर दिया और आपको कुछ interest नहीं मिल रहा. You need to generate money. Only then you will be able to run your business very efficiently. Okay. अगर आप उसमें से generate नहीं कर पाओगे, then you will be into the losses and your business will be a proper failure. So you need to understand that the money should be employed very efficiently. Now coming on to the definition, according to Khan and Jen, finance is the art and science of managing money. So art is basically, you can say, like you are using your creative skill, like how efficiently or effectively you are going to make the use of that money. And science, because you are employing the funds, you are taking up the money. कैसे आपने लेना है, उसके प्रिंसिपल्स क्या है, आपको डेट रेशो कितना रखना है, इक्विटी रेशो कितना रखना है, that things you need to keep in mind before you jump into, okay, I have to need money. So you need to find out, okay, if I have to go for a debt or if I have to go for the equity. क्या आपको डेट पे लेना है, आपको बाहर से लेना है, so what is the source? Either you have to go for the bank, either you have to go some financial intermediary, or either you can have it from your friends. So you need to find out the proper source from where you can have that funds. And then moving on to the credit, I mean equity. So equity, either you are using your own funds. So how much funds you are using? Suppose you have 10 lakh rupees with you. It is not possible that you have a requirement of 10 lakh and then you deploy your own money. No, you can't invest your whole money in the bank, the business only, because you may need money for some contingencies, like there may be some requirement. I'll explain in Hindi. अगर आपके पास 10 लाख रुपीस हैं एंड आपने पूरा का पूरा वो पैसा एक ही जगह पे इन्वेस्ट कर दिया, इट विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. देयर मे बी सम कंटीजेंसीज. सो द कंटीजेंसीज हियर मींस देयर मे बी सम you can say requirement which generate, I mean एकदम से कुछ requirement आ गई, so you need funds. So it is always preferable to use a debt and equity ratio mix. Okay, it is always preferable. आपको debt और equity का mix चाहिए रहता है, but what is the appropriate mix that you decide according to your business. Okay, कितना debt employ करना है, कितना equity employ करना है. We will cover like how the debt equity ratio is being employed and how we take into consideration, and what are the benefits of employing debt and what are the benefits of employing this equity, and what are the disadvantages. So you need to take into consideration all those points. On the basis of that only you can decide either you have to go for the debt or you have to go for the equity. Now coming on to the other definition, the finance connotes with management of money. That is a very proper thing, like it is basically the management of money. First you plan the money, okay, I have to this is my requirement and I need funds for them. Then you organize money, like from where you have to get that money. Then you basically deploy that money, basically means you invest that money. So you basically see like how you are managing your money. Okay, only when if you are making your money in a profitable business, किसी profitable venture में आप अपनी money को लगाते हैं, only then it is profitable for you. Okay, so this is how business finance and finance. Now coming on to the definition of business finance. Business finance means the funds and credit employed in the business. Finance is the foundation of a business. Okay, so finance requirement are to purchase asset, raw material and other economic activities. As I told you that you basically need finance for all the requirements of your business. So coming on to the definition, business finance include those business activities that are concerned with acquisition and conservation of capital funds. First you acquire money, then you basically invest that money. Why? Because you meet the financial needs and overall objective of a business or enterprise. That means you have to use your money in a very profitable way. That is why business finance term is being used. Now, business is basically generation and collection of products and services for fulfilling the needs of society, obviously. Then coming on to the financial management. Now we come up with a topic that is the financial management, which is our topic. The word financial management, it basically is the, you can say, a combination of two words, that is financial and management. So financial as the name itself describes, financial means procuring money, or you can say raising money and allocating those resources on the basis of monetary requirement. First you see, okay, this is my requirement, मुझे इतना पैसा चाहिए. Then you see, you have the acquisition, आपने acquire कर लिया. Then you allocate that money, आप उसको अच्छे से use करते हो. This come under the consideration of financial only. Then comes the word management. Means management, you know what is management? Planning, organizing, controlling, and you can say coordinating the human activities with reference to finance function for achieving the organization of the objectives of the organization. So what you have to do, basically आप प्लान करते हो कि कैसे आपने अपना फाइनेंस मैनेजर है वो प्लान करता है चीजों को, and then they organize and control the human activity. That means आप फंड्स वहीं पे एम्प्लॉय करते हो जहां पे वो प्रॉफिटेबली यूज हो सकते हैं, नॉट एवरीवेयर. ओके, सो दैट इज व्हाई फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट. सो व्हाट इज फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट नाउ? Raising and utilization of funds, and also include distribution of a fund in the form of dividend to shareholder and retention of profit for growth and development. See, okay, you have a plan. मैंने प्लान कर लिया, मुझे इतना पैसा चाहिए, मैंने वो पैसा ले लिया, उसको बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट कर लिया और मुझे वहां से प्रॉफिट हो गया. नाउ यू हैव टू ऑप्शन विद यू. ईदर यू कैन गिव दैट मनी एज अ डिविडेंड टू योर शेयर होल्डर, या तो आप वो पैसा शेयर होल्डर को दे सकते हो. सेकेंड, या वो अपने प्रॉफिट जो है आप अपने बिजनेस में रिटेन कर सकते हो, सो दैट यू कैन यूज इट for the purpose of growth and development. So suppose if you come up with a new project or a new venture, then you can invest that funds in that. But it is not possible कि आप पूरा का पूरा पैसा डिविडेंड में दे दो और या पूरा का पूरा पैसा खुद रिटेन कर दो. So you need to find out the proper mix. कितना फंड्स मुझे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना है और कितना फंड्स मुझे अपने पास रखना है. You need to find out that. Now coming on to the financial management. Financial management is an application of general management principle to the financial decision making. आपके जो general principles है management में, that is planning, organizing, coordinating and controlling, वो सब जो functions हैं वो हम use करते हैं कैसे हमें financial decision लेने हैं. Okay, so the financial management is the activity concerned with planning, raising and administration of funds that are being used in the business. So with this, we have understood what is business finance, what is finance, and what is financial management. Now, if you can see, there are various approaches of financial management. Financial management, basically, you can say measure the scope of the financial management to various fields, which include essential part of finance. So I have written one thing, that financial management is not a revolutionary, but a evolutionary. What does it mean? It is not something that has come up suddenly. No, it is eventually that it has come into existence. With the passage of time, we have come into this part. The financial management has come into existence. So the definition and scope of financial management has been changed from one period to another. Basically, the things which are coming into, that is, you can say traditional approach or modern approach. Now the scope of financial management is being widened. Earlier, it was only limited to procuring of money, but with the, you can say, evaluation, the management of financial management not only is now concerned with the, you can say, only the procurement of money, it is also the use of money. पहले ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच में क्या था? ओनली एंड ओनली प्रोक्योरमेंट ऑफ मनी, हमें पैसा कैसे लेना. बट विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम, we realized, okay, it is not only that you need to see into the, okay, this is the funds I need and how I can procure that, but modern approach come that how we procure that and how effectively we can use that. Okay, that is the modern approach. So I'll cover both these topics, that is the traditional as well as the modern approach. The earlier part which I have discussed, is it clear to everyone? Since it's a revision, it will be more easy for you people to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Omkar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, fine. So I'll explain the other, that is the traditional as well as the modern approach. So we have basically covered our 2 units. Okay, second unit के numericals मैं आपको already दे चुकी हूँ. उसका जो theory है और ये first unit का theory मैं आज ही lecture के बाद sir को दे दूंगी. and it will be given to you, so that you have 2 units full with you. Okay, and then you can revise the earlier revision part which is being done. I hope मैंने आपको उस दिन पे बोला था कि फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड यूनिट में सेकंड यूनिट के न्यूमेरिकल्स रिवाइज करो. इफ यू पीपल हैव रिवाइज्ड दैट और नॉट?
Yes, ma'am. Revise.
Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Ankur, you were not there in the previous lecture. Why?
Actually, not well. That's why I've not attended the lecture last week.
Okay, no issue. Today, just you listen to the my lecture. Then I'll again revise the both the numericals. जो numerical के 2 approach हमने उसमें किए थे, मैं दोनों revise करवा दूंगी, तो आपको
Yes,
easy जाएगा.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, just a second. Let me have water. Then I'll start with the next topic. Today only I'll give you the PDF for the MCQ also for the both the 2 units. MCQ में आप MCQ दोनों यूनिट्स की मैं आज आपको दे दूंगी, तो वो आपके लिए इजी हो जाएगा. MCQ भी आप रिवाइज कर सकते हो. And once these 2 units are completed, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, I'll give you one test. That test will be given to sir. Sir आपको ग्रुप में दे देंगे, and then you can prepare accordingly. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, fine. So we were covering what is the traditional approach and what was the modern approach. So the traditional approach is the initial stage of financial management, which was followed in the early part, that is during the 1920 to 15, that you can say pre-independence phase. This approach is based on the past experience. So the main part of traditional approach is raising of fund. As I told you, पहले सिर्फ और सिर्फ importance किस पे था? How to raise funds. So they cover 3 important area. Arrangement of funds from lending body. So here lending body means जो आपको funds provide करते हैं. It may be a bank, it may be a financial institution, it may be your friends or relative, okay, and it may be some other organization which is helping you. Lending body here means which is lending you the money, which is giving you money, okay. Then second is arrangement of funds through various financial instruments. There are various financial instruments like you can raise funds from share, you can raise funds from debentures. So which instrument you are being using, you need to understand that. Then finding out the various sources of funds. Okay, then you decide, okay, what is the debt equity ratio? कौन सा source आपने use किया है? Okay, so this come into the consideration. This come into the under the heading of traditional approach. So what are the limitations of traditional approach? The traditional approach continued till 50s. It has, if you can see in the definition only, they give emphasis only and only of raising of money. ठीक है, उसमें सिर्फ आपको इतना ही दिया है, how to procure the funds. How to procure the funds, from where you can procure the funds. So the more emphasis is on raising the funds. The approach places more importance on procurement of funds, like either you are going for external sources or you are going for the internal resources. That means you are using your equity. So just this thing is into the existence with this, okay. सिर्फ और सिर्फ इसी पे आपको emphasis दिया गया है. Disregard to the financial problem of non-corporate enterprise. It places more importance on the problem faced by corporate entities in procuring the fund. The non-corporate entities like solid proprietorship and partnership firms are considered outside this scope. So they take into consideration, okay, for equity they are raising shareholder and all that, but for proprietorship and this sole proprietorship partnership, they don't focus on these. They disregard the routine problem. So what is your routine problem? Like how to use the funds, how you are using your funds for the working capital requirement. It is not giving any emphasis on these requirements, this daily financial requirement. I mean, you need petty cash for the daily requirement. They are not giving any importance. They are just focusing on what the long-term funds are being required by any business. Okay, then they disregard the working capital financing. Okay, you have a working capital requirement. Working capital means the capital which is employed, you can say जो requirement आपकी less than 1 year रहता है जिसका requirement, you require funds for that. but they are not giving any importance like how you are to basically the procure that fund. Okay, you know, okay, this is my working capital requirement, but how you are going to procure that funds, how you can basically get that funds from, they are not giving much importance to that. They are just giving the importance only for the long term finances. Then comes the modern approach. So this modern approach, you can say, has come into existence after the post-independence phase. So according to modern approach, the firm financial management provides a conceptual as well as analytical framework. So the conceptual means they provide you the concept, okay, how you have to raise the money, how you have to use that money. And analytical is like you see, okay, I have planned like this much funds is being required and have to use these funds, but is my analytical framework means that you see क्या मेरा वो funds जितना मैंने employ किया था कुछ वो profitable था या नहीं था. So this is a more broader concept. So the modern approach of financial management basically consider three major decisions. The first is investment, financing, and the dividend policy. Okay. So the first thing that they come into existence is the financial decision. आपको finance कहाँ से लेना है? Then comes the investment decision. How you have to invest that funds which you have raised. Then is the dividend policy. Dividend policy decision means how you are using the funds that are being, the money you have generated, how much funds are being distributed to the shareholder. तो उससे दोनों चीजें ली. उसने ये भी देखा कि आपने funds raise कहाँ से किए, उसमें आपने ये भी देखा कि वो फंड्स आपने यूज कैसे किए, एंड आपने उसमें ये भी देखा कि आपने वो फंड्स कितने डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए. सो इट इज अ मोर ब्रॉडर कंसेप्ट और यू कैन से मोर रेलेवेंट कंसेप्ट. So the first thing that is there is the financial decision. So what does the financial decision mean? Financial decision, name itself described, finance कहाँ से लेना है. So the decision is concerned with mobilization of fund, finance for investment. The finance manager has to take the decision regarding the acquisition of money. कहाँ से उसको funds acquire करने हैं. Whether entire capital required should be raised in the form of equity or they should borrow it from outside. So उसमें आप क्या डिसाइड करते हो, कितना आपको डेट से पैसा लेना है, कितना फंड्स आपको इक्विटी से लेना है. So the finance manager involved in the following finance decision. तो अभी उसने देख लिया कि मुझे कितना फंड्स कहाँ से लेना है, ये सब डिसीजन लेने हैं, तो वो क्या क्या चीजें ध्यान में रखेगा. फर्स्ट इज द पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट. ही नीड टू फाइंड आउट द डेट इक्विटी रेशियो. Then a determination of financing partner of long-term funds requirement. See, in a business, there are various types of funds which are required. Some funds are required for short term, some for medium, and some for long. Then you need to decide the pattern. Long term funds की requirement है तो वो funds मुझे कहाँ से लेनी है. Short term requirement है तो वो funds मुझे कहाँ से लेनी है. You need to decide the financing pattern. कौन सा पैसा कहाँ से आएगा. Then is the arrangement of funds. Now you have to decide. आपने decide कर लिया कि ठीक है ये पैसा मुझे वहां से लेना है. Now what finance manager has to do? Arrangement of the funds. Like आपने सोचा कि मुझे यहाँ से लेना है, then you need to follow proper procedure. बैंक से कैसे लेना है, financial institution से कैसे लेना है, then you need to arrange that funds. Then is the arrangement of finance for working capital, that is common to the same heading. Then is consideration of interest burden. जब भी हम बाहर से पैसा लेते हैं बेटा, उसके लिए आपको ऑब्वियसली इंटरेस्ट पे करना है, तो ये चीज भी फाइनेंस मैनेजर को ध्यान देनी है. कंसिडरेशन ऑफ डेट लेवल चेंजेस एंड इट्स इम्पैक्ट ऑन फर्म्स बैंक्रप्सी. ओके, डेट आपने कितना लिया है और उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा फर्म की. देखो डेट का एक फायदा है कि आपको सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंटरेस्ट का बर्डन आता है. सो इट इज मोस्टली यू कैन से इट्स अ चीप सोर्स. बट उसका एक डिसएडवांटेज है, इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू पे दैट फंड्स देन यू विल हैव टू रन इनटू बैंक्रप्सी. तो क्या होगा, आपका बैंक्रप्सी हो जाएगा क्योंकि आप वो पे नहीं कर पाए. तो अभी हमने मॉडर्न अप्रोच में सबसे पहला डिसीजन देखा, दैट इज द फाइनेंसिंग. तो हमने फाइनेंस अरेंज कर दिया. नाउ यू हैव डिसाइडेड कि मैंने फाइनेंस कहाँ से लेना है, किस हिसाब से लेना है, यू हैव अरेंज. Now the second decision come is the investment decision. What is the investment decision here means? This is concerned with the allocation of capital. It show the funds can be invested either in asset which you will benefit in future. That means कि आपको funds वहां पे लगाने हैं जो आपके लिए future में profitable हो. So this is a decision based on the risk and uncertainty. finance manager has to evaluate the investment in relation to their expected result and risk to determine whether the investment is feasible or not. देखो हर इन्वेस्टमेंट के बेटा कुछ तो प्रॉफिट्स होंगे, आई मीन कुछ तो उसके रिस्क होंगे, ठीक है ना, कुछ तो उसके प्रॉफिट मिल रहे हैं कि हाँ मैंने ये फंड्स, अगर आपने मान लो आज के टाइम में एक फंड्स लिया कंपनी से 10 लाख रुपीस का आपने फंड ले लिया बेटा, और आपने सोचा कि मैं एक नया प्रोडक्ट बनाती हूँ, अर्लियर यू आर इनटू सोप्स, नाउ यू डिसाइड आई विल स्टार्ट विद माय शैम्पू प्रोडक्शन, ओके, तो आपने वो फंड्स उसमें लगा दिए, now you have acquired the fund, now you have invested in that soap. अभी शैम्पू में जब आपने लगाया तो बेटा उसमें दो चीजें हैं, ये या तो ये हो सकता है कि आपका जो आपने नया यू कैन से वेंचर स्टार्ट किया, इट मे बी वेरी प्रॉफिटेबल फॉर यू, बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉफिट हो जाए, बट उसमें रिस्क भी है बिकॉज इट्स अ न्यू स्टार्टअप, देयर आर चांसेस कि वो इतना जल्दी मार्केट गेन नहीं करे और आपको लॉसेस हो जाए, सो यू नीड टू डिसाइड हाउ यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट दैट फंड. So the investment decision of a finance manager, क्या क्या उसमें मैनेजर को ध्यान देना है. First, a certain of total volume of funds a firm can commit. कितना फंड्स आपको फर्म से मिल सकता है इन्वेस्टमेंट के. अभी आपके पास जितना फंड, आप पूरा का पूरा तो नहीं बेटा करोगे ना, कुछ तो अपने लिए कंटीजेंसीज के लिए रखोगे कि अगर कुछ फाइनेंशियल रिक्वायरमेंट एकदम से आ गई तो उसके लिए कुछ तो अपने पास सरप्लस हर टाइम हर फंड रखता है ना, हर बिजनेस रखता है, पूरा का पूरा जितना होता है उतना तो इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते ना. देन appraisal and selection of the capital investment proposal. आप कितना भी आपके पास इन्वेस्टमेंट का प्रपोजल्स आते हैं, you need to basically appraise them and select. Basically you see okay this is how 3-4 प्रोजेक्ट है आपके पास, you select according to किस में हमें कितना रिटर्न है और कितना रिस्क है, accordingly you decide. Then measure the risk and uncertainty, okay, then you prioritize. अगर आपके पास 3 डिसीजन थे कि मैं ए बी सी 3 प्रोजेक्ट में लगा सकती हूँ, देन यू प्रायोरिटी, ओके ए इज माय फर्स्ट, बी इज सेकंड एंड देन सी इज माय थर्ड. देन यू फंड्स एलोकेट, देन यू डिप्लॉय फंड्स कि ठीक है मैं इसमें इतना फंड लगाऊंगी, इसमें इतना फंड लगाऊंगी, थर्ड में इतना इन्वेस्ट करूंगी, ओके. देन इज डिटर्मिनेशन ऑफ फिक्स्ड एसेट्स टू बी रिक्वायर्ड. अभी ये है कि आपको कितना फंड्स आपने नए प्रोजेक्ट में लगाया, कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट होंगी जो फिक्स्ड एसेट्स की होगी, सो यू नीड टू कैलकुलेट दैट. So now we have covered 2 decisions. The first is the financing decision. आपको फाइनेंस कहाँ से करवाना है अपने प्रोजेक्ट को. Second comes the investment. आपको वो फंड्स इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करनी है. Now come the last, that is the dividend decision. The dividend decision involves the determination of percentage of profit earned by enterprise which is paid to shareholder. अभी आपको शेयर होल्डर को कितना फंड्स देना है. डिविडेंड बेटा इटसेल्फ मींस वो फंड्स जो आपको शेयर होल्डर को पे करना है. So the dividend payout ratio must be evaluated in the light of the objective of maximizing shareholder wealth. So you need to basically maximize your shareholder wealth. Only then, अगर आपके शेयर होल्डर का पैसा बढ़ता है तभी वो आपके बिजनेस में लगाता है. So what decision a finance manager will have to take? Determine the dividend and retention policy. Like he will have to find out a proper mix, कितना dividend उसको देना है and कितना पैसा उसको retain करना है profit का अपने पास. Consider the impact of level of dividend and retention of earnings, market value of the share and future earnings of the company. कितना रखा और उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट आया आपके बिजनेस पे. Consideration of possible requirement of funds by the firm for expansion, like you decide okay earlier you are giving 10% or 15% shareholders dividend. Now you see okay I'm coming up by my new project, so you may decide okay this time I need to keep more funds with me, that I need to keep retain more money with me, क्योंकि क्या है मुझे अभी फ्यूचर में कुछ नया अपना प्रोजेक्ट एक्सपैंड करना है या डाइवर्सिफाई करना है, तो आप क्या करोगे डिविडेंड कम दोगे और उस टाइम में वो फंड ज्यादा यूज करोगे. देन इज रिकंसिडरेशन ऑफ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन एंड रिटेंशन पॉलिसीज. दैट मींस आपको टाइम टू टाइम चेंज करते रहना पड़ता है. अगर बूम पीरियड है तो ऑब्वियसली आप ज्यादा डिप्लॉय भी कर सकते हो, आप डिविडेंड ज्यादा भी दे सकते हो क्योंकि वो आपका बूम पीरियड है, योर बिजनेस इज ग्रोइंग. बट इफ यू आर इनटू रिसेशन, अगर आपका बिजनेस फेल हो रहा है, ऑलरेडी मार्केट की कंडीशन ऐसी है, देन यू मे डिसाइड ओके फॉर द टाइम बिंग आई विल पे लेस टू माय शेयर होल्डर. सो दिस इज द मॉडर्न अप्रोच दैट कवर्स दीज 3 डिसीजन. ओके, आई होप इट इज क्लियर.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now we will look into the objectives of the financial management. See, the objective of financial management, basically financial management is like you have to procure the funds and then you have to properly utilize that funds. That so, but the essential part, like what is the objective, why we take into financial management QI existence में, there are basically you can divide it into two parts. The objective of financial management earlier, अभी profit maximization जो था वो आपका previous concept है बेटा, अभी क्या आ गया है existence में, wealth maximization. So profit maximization means that any kind of business economic activity is there only for earning profit. That means whenever you are into business, अभी जब भी हम कोई बिजनेस रन करते हैं हमारा एक ही प्रॉफिट होता है, एक ही मोटिव होता है, क्या, टू अर्न प्रॉफिट. बिकॉज when we earn profit, then we are able to meet the objective of our business. So business is basically, we can say, is the purpose. क्या रहता है business का, हम क्या सोचते हैं, earn profit. So profit is the technique to understand, like basically if a business is making profit, so we say okay, it is in a very good state, its financial condition is very good. But if a business is not able to make profit, so that means that business is not into very profitable thing and the state of the business is not good. So what are the important feature? Profit maximization is also called as cashing per share. So it means basically that you are making profit out of your business. Ultimate of business is earning profit, hence it consider all possible way to increase the profitability. So other feature kya hai ki that okay, the business is running only and only that they can increase their profit. Profit is a parameter of measure the efficiency. अभी कोई business अगर वो profit बनाता है तो what we say, okay, ये तो बहुत अच्छा है, the business is being flourishing, okay, and it is in a very good state, it will be able to sustain for a longer period. So and profit objective helps to reduce the risk of the business. So the risk may be okay for shutdown और ये सब वैसा कुछ उसमें profit जो जिसका profit बन रहा होता है उसमें ऐसा कोई risk नहीं रहता. So what are the favorable arguments? कुछ arguments हैं जो favor में है, क्या है? Main aim is to earn profit. Like whenever we are into business, we think of only one thing, that is profit making. And profit is a parameter. Parameter means like on the basis of that we judge either our business is flourishing or not flourishing. Then profit reduces the risk of the business concern. Your business, the risk is being reduced. Like how it is being reduced? Profit reduces the risk concern because you are able to face the changing condition. अगर आपके पास profit होगा, then you are able to face the changes whichsoever are there in the organization. अगर आपके पास क्या रहेगा, changes होती रहेंगी तो बेटा आप obviously profit रहेगा तो आप वो changing conditions को face कर सकोगे. Maybe economic conditions अभी change हो गई, then so profit is the main source of finance. And profit meets the social needs also. So social needs means if a business is making profit, then you are able to deploy your funds. Like now nowadays business are employing a large funds in CSR activities also. So if you are making money, then you are able to meet the social needs also. Then what are the unfavorable arguments? Like why they say that the profit is not the only objective? The first is profit of maximization lead to exploitation of workers. Like you take into consideration only and only your profit into. If my voice is being audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
fine.
ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है, तो क्या था बेटा, एक्सप्लॉयटेशन कैसे होगा वर्कर्स का और कंज्यूमर्स का। अभी आपका एक ही प्रॉफिट है कि मुझे तो अपना बहुत ज्यादा प्रॉफिट करना है, तो आप क्या करोगे वर्कर्स के साथ, क्या होगा, यू आर नॉट पेइंग देम अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर एफर्ट्स। तो आप क्या है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा फंड्स अपने पास रखने की सोचोगे, यू विल नॉट पे देम हायर वेजेस। ठीक है, आप सोचोगे कि ठीक है, इफ ही इज नॉट रेडी टू वर्क एट 10,000 रुपीज, आई विल एम्प्लॉय सम अदर पर्सन बिकॉज आई हैव वन ऑब्जेक्टिव दैट आई हैव टू increase my income. And you obviously you can say exploit the consumer also. How? You will not provide them with the quality, you will focus on the quantity. ठीक है, क्वालिटी पे आप क्या करोगे, क्वालिटी पे आप क्या करते हो, कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर दोगे, क्योंकि प्रॉफिट आपका, अगर आपने सोचा कि अच्छा मैं क्वालिटी के हिसाब से गई तो यही इसी की कॉस्ट मुझे 12 होगी और मेरा प्रॉफिट सिर्फ 2 रुपीज का बचेगा, बट इफ आई compromise on the quality aspect, I'll be able to make more profit. So you exploit the worker as well as the consumer. Profit maximization creates immoral practices such as corrupt practices, unfair trade practices. Some unfair trade practices means you enter into unhealthy competitions. Then profit optimization objective lead to inequality among stakeholders, customers, supplier. You're not paying them according to their efforts. So these are, you can say, the limitation or various drawbacks. And there is one drawback of profit maximization, that is it is vague. So the profit is not defined precisely, like what profit, long-term profit, short-term profit, what profit. It ignores the time value of money. So the time value of money means that it leads the difference between the actual cash flow and the net present cash flow during a particular period. Whenever it ignores the time value of money means the money earned today has a more value than the money earned tomorrow, okay, or a day. Why? जो आज पैसा आपने कमाया उसकी पैसे की वैल्यू आपकी आज ज्यादा होगी रादर देन वो रिक्वायरमेंट आज आपको है 100 रुपीज की, आपको 2 साल बाद मिलेगा तो उसकी वैल्यू नहीं रहेगी. सो इट डजंट टेक इनटू कंसिडरेशन द टाइम वैल्यू. It ignores the risk. It doesn't take the risk into consideration. क्या risk था, कितना internal risk था, कितना external risk था, उसमें इसने ध्यान नहीं दिया. They have only one focus, that is the profit making. So these are basically the drawback of profit maximization. Now coming on to the wealth maximization. Why wealth maximization come into existence? So if you see earlier, there are a lot of companies that are sole proprietorship and partnership. तो उसमें obviously sole proprietor का पैसा लगा है, उसको क्या benefit रहता है? They want to make money. And same way, if you look into this partnership, they have one objective that they have to, partners को क्या चाहिए? Profit. दोनों का ultimate objective क्या है? Profit. But then comes the joint stock companies. So joint stock company, if any one of you tell me, who are the persons who have invested money in joint stock companies? Joint stock में बेटा कौन-कौन पैसा लगाता है? Tell me. Various interest groups of the wealth in the joint stock company. कौन से persons होते हैं joint stock company में? Answer me. Joint stock company.
Shareholder.
Yes, shareholder.
Artificial person.
हाँ, कौन? Who else? Who else? Joint stock company में बेटा किस किस का पैसा लगा होता है? सिर्फ शेयर होल्डर का? क्रेडिटर्स का पैसा नहीं लगता क्या? You know what is joint stock company, I hope. Every one of you know what is a joint stock company?
No, ma'am.
This is a very basic thing that you have earlier understood only. ये first managerial accounting का starting point रहता है. There are 3 type of business concern. The first one is a sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship होता है बेटा सिर्फ एक single person होता है. वो अपने पे decide करता है कि मैंने एक business शुरू करना है. मतलब उसमें सिर्फ जो owner है sole है. Sole means one. ठीक है, अभी आप देखो जैसे रिटेल की शॉप है, उसमें कौन है? एक रिटेलर की शॉप हो गई. So he is the sole proprietorship. समझा? Now next come the joint partnership. पार्टनरशिप. So what is a partnership? पार्टनरशिप में क्या रहता है बेटा? 3-4 लोग मिलके आते हैं, दे स्टार्ट विद अ बिजनेस, पार्टनर्स बन जाते हैं. ठीक है, तो वो अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज द पार्टनरशिप. Now the more important that comes into existence is the joint stock company. जो large scale companies होती हैं, टाटा, रिलायंस, so these are the joint stock company. उसमें क्या होता है बेटा, बहुत से लोगों का फंड लगा होता है. सिर्फ और सिर्फ जो रिलायंस, उसमें धीरू भाई अंबानी का पैसा तो नहीं लगा ना, बहुत से शेयर होल्डर्स हैं जिन्होंने उससे शेयर्स लिए हैं, दे बिकम द शेयर होल्डर्स, बिकम्स द ओनर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. सो शेयर होल्डर्स क्या है बेटा, वो भी तो ओनर बन जाते हैं ना. उसमें बहुत से लोगों का पैसा लगा होता है, दे आर नोन एज द जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी. कि जॉइंट है सबका स्टॉक, ठीक है, तो वहां पे बहुत सारे लोगों का पैसा लगता है, दैट इज अ जॉइंट स्टॉक कंपनी. पार्टनरशिप में मैक्सिमम लिमिट कितनी होती है? मैक्सिमम मेंबर्स की, मैक्सिमम बेटा, नॉट मिनिमम, मैक्सिमम. मैक्सिमम कितनी है?
10.
यस. सो अगर minimum 2 and maximum 10, and in case of a banking business I think it's 8. So पार्टनरशिप में ये होता है. बट अभी क्या हुआ, वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइजेशन क्यों आया? बिकॉज ज्वाइंट स्टॉक कंपनी हैज कम इनटू एग्जिस्टेंस. अभी क्या हो गया, बहुत बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज लगाने, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर 2 people or 3 persons टू स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस. देन कम एन आइडिया ऑफ अ ज्वाइंट स्टॉक कंपनी. बहुत सारे लोग एक कंपनी शुरू करते हैं, देन शेयर होल्डर्स अपना पैसा इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, बाय द शेयर होल्डर्स में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, तो दे बिकम द ओनर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. सो कम्स द कंसेप्ट ऑफ अ wealth maximization, which means they involve the modern approach which involves latest innovation and improvement in the field of the business concern. The term wealth means shareholder wealth. So wealth maximization here means that you are basically increasing the shareholders wealth. Okay, now what are the points which are favor in the wealth maximization? The first one is it take into consideration long run survival. कि हाँ, बिजनेस बहुत लंबे टाइम तक चलने वाला है, so we have to increase our shareholders wealth. It is consistent with the objective of owners economic welfare because it take into consideration the all groups. It suggests regular and consistent dividend payment. It basically there is a consistent policy of a dividend. Then it consider risk and time value of money, जो हम profit maximization में नहीं देते. Okay, then come the unfavorable points, that it is also a, some people say that maximizing the shareholder wealth means maximizing the profit only. No, it is not. Okay, so then it gives more certain, it enjoys certain benefits. So basically these are the two concepts, wealth maximization as well as the profit maximization. Now we will see what is the finance and its relation with the other discipline. Okay,
Okay, madam.
and yeah, just a second, and then we will read the functions and importance. Okay, now finance and its relation with other discipline, just give me a second, I'll start, just give me a second. Okay. Now we will study like what is the relationship of finance with other discipline. See, any discipline is not completed in itself only. It basically is dependent on other discipline. Okay. Now, first one is a finance and economics. So the relationship you can understand like economics is divided into two parts, the micro as well as the macro. So the micro means you take into consideration the micro aspects of something. Okay. Micro means an individual firm, an individual company. Okay. That is the micro. And macro means on an economy as a whole. ठीक है, तो macro में आपका ये सब आता है. Now what you have to take into consideration, finance is impacted by both the things. How? I'll explain. See, if you take into consideration the just a second. Now you can take into consideration the macro aspect. अभी macro aspect में क्या होता है बेटा, RBI की guidelines जो है, ठीक है, अभी कंपनी के अभी किसी कंट्री पे साथ कैसे है, if you can see nowadays there are a lot of restriction that are being imposed for the Chinese products. So these are the restriction. You can see the macro aspect. हो सकता है आपकी कंपनी का रॉ मटेरियल आप चाइना से ले रहे थे, बट अभी रेगुलेशन चेंज होगी तो अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल हैव टू प्लान. Okay, so that is the macro aspect that will obviously impact your organization. Then monetary policy, company ki fiscal policy, RBI ki guidelines, these are the macro aspect. Now coming on to the micro aspect means that is the things are into the consideration like in a single firm or something. So maybe your competitor has come up with something at a lower price. Suppose your pricing is 20 rupees. Now he come up with a policy, okay, he is giving that at 18 rupees. So this is a micro thing which is impacting your decision, which is will impact your finance. Then you need to plan your strategy accordingly so that you can meet the face that competition. So this is the relation between finance and economics. Then come the finance and mathematics. So the mathematics here means that you are basically employing various types of now mathematics here means that you are basically employing various types of statistical techniques. स्टैटिस्टिकल टेक्निक्स मतलब आप बहुत सारे जैसे इकोनॉमिक क्वांटिटी कैसे आपको कैलकुलेट करना है, टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है. सो दीज थिंग्स यू आर गेटिंग फ्रॉम स्टैटिस्टिक्स. यू आर यूजिंग दैट इन योर फाइनेंस सो दैट यू कैन रीच टू सम. अभी इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी से आपको पता चलता है हाउ मच क्वांटिटी यू विल हैव टू मेंटेन विद योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ईच टाइम. सो दिस इज हाउ economics statistics and finance are being related because you use various types of techniques which are being developed by statistics. Okay, then comes the finance and accounting. So the finance and accounting means finance is something which is related to finance only, but accounts में क्या रहता है, बैलेंस शीट, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. तो हम फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट में क्या करते हैं, जो चीजें अकाउंट्स में हमने एंड रिजल्ट में निकाली, आपका बैलेंस शीट, फाइनेंस, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, उसके बाद हम फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट शुरू करते हैं. वो इंफॉर्मेशन यूज करके हम अपनी कैलकुलेशंस पूरी करते हैं. दिस इज हाउ दीज टू आर बीइंग रिलेटेड. देन कम द फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट एंड प्रोडक्शन मैनेजमेंट. So the financial management and production management means that you are using your techniques, or you can say for the production people are basically looking for the finance people for their funds requirement. They require funds for machinery, they require funds from production, they require funds for the raw material. तो उस सब requirement के लिए उनको किससे मिलना है, किसके पास जाना है, फाइनेंस मैनेजर के पास. And finance manager, once he gives the funds to the production department, he will also have to look into like whatsoever funds they have given is being used profitably. क्या वो profitably उसने use किए या नहीं किए. ठीक है, अभी फिर उसके बाद क्या होगा, फाइनेंस मैनेजर ने उसको पैसा दे दिया. अभी प्रोडक्शन मैनेजमेंट का काम है कि जितना भी फंड्स उसने लिया उसको प्रॉफिटेबली एम्प्लॉय करे, वो फंड्स प्रॉफिटेबली इन्वेस्ट करे, सो दैट फंड्स आर बीइंग जनरेटेड, ताकि उसका जो एंड रिजल्ट हो वो प्रॉफिट लेके आए बिजनेस के लिए. Now come the फाइनेंस मैनेजमेंट एंड मार्केटिंग. सो द मार्केटिंग का रिलेशन कैसे रहेगा बेटा? मार्केटिंग में क्या रहता है? मार्केटिंग की बहुत सारी टेक्निक्स होती हैं, ठीक है ना. अभी मार्केटिंग के लिए आपको एडवर्टीजमेंट के लिए पैसा चाहिए, अगर आपको कोई सेल्स प्रमोशन करना है, अगर आपको कोई फ्री यू कैन से सैंपल्स देना है, उसके लिए आपको ऑब्वियसली फाइनेंस चाहिए. सो मार्केटिंग पीपल basically need fund and they ask finance people for that fund, and the finance manager when he give that funds he will see कि जितना भी उसने funds promotions में लगाया sales की, क्या वो sales ने generation किया funds का, उसके बाद उसको profit हुआ. So this is how they are being interrelated. Now the last is finance management and human resource. Human resource here means that finance manager will have to look into the wages, salaries, various bonus that are being given to the person. So the finance management take into consideration or take into account all these important decisions. Okay, these are the various relation of the various discipline with the finance management. Now the last topic of this unit is functions of a finance manager. Now suppose you are being employed in a company as a finance manager. What are your function? What you are being required to do? The first thing is forecasting the financial requirements. सबसे important काम आपका क्या है? That you have to require basically forecast. कितना फाइनेंशियल रिक्वायरमेंट है आपका. ओके, मेरे को कितने फंड्स चाहिए. यू नीड टू फाइंड आउट व्हाट आर द फंड्स यू रिक्वायर फॉर द लॉन्ग टर्म, फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म, और यू कैन से फॉर द मीडियम टर्म. कितना पैसा आपको चाहिए, यू फॉरकास्ट. ओके, आई एम सपोज अगर आपके बिजनेस को आपको नेक्स्ट 2 years में आपने एक नया प्लांट सेटअप करना है, तो उसके लिए आपको कितना पैसा चाहिए, यू नीड टू फॉरकास्ट इट. ओके, पहले आपको फोरसी करके फॉरकास्ट करना है. Now you have forecasted कि ये मेरा रिक्वायरमेंट है, then you need to acquire. ठीक है, तो फाइनेंस मैनेजर को क्या इसमें ध्यान देना है? He should finance is mobilized and where it will be available. Like he will have to see from where he can get that fund, from debt or from equity, or if he is going for some banks or financial intermediaries, so from how he has to acquire that capital. Then is the investment decision. Now you have taken up the funds, like okay, the funds are being available. Now you will have to see what are your requirements. You have already seen. Now you have to invest that fund. You have to basically invest the funds so that they are being employed in a profitable way. Now the very important function is the cash management, because when a cash is, because you need cash for the short term requirement for working capital, so you need to manage the cash also properly. Then is implementation with the, or you can say interrelation with the other departments. See, फाइनेंस मैनेजर कांट वर्क इन आइसोलेशन कि वो सिर्फ अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट देखेगा. नहीं, अभी वो रिक्वायरमेंट दे रहा है फाइनेंस की, तो उसको देखना पड़ेगा. परचेज वाले भी उसको रिक्वायरमेंट देंगे, सेल्स वाले भी रिक्वायरमेंट देंगे, एचआर के पीपल भी रिक्वायरमेंट देंगे. सो ही इज बेसिकली द वन हु नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द वेरियस डिपार्टमेंट्स. ओके, now what is the importance? Now you have seen what are the objectives, what are the functions, what are the various approaches. Now you have to find out what is the importance of a financial management. The first important thing is the financial planning. As I told you, you need to plan out the things. Then is acquisition, how you have to acquire that funds, how effectively you have to acquire that fund. आपको कहाँ पे लेना है acquire. Acquisition is like कहाँ पे आपको एक्वायर करने के टाइम हम एक चीज देखते हैं, जहां पे कम इंटरेस्ट पे मिलेगा हम लोग वहां से फंड्स लेते हैं. ओके, देन वी टेक इनटू कंसीडरेशन वहां पे कितना रिस्क एस्पेक्ट है. नाउ देन यू हैव टू प्रॉपर्ली यूज दैट फंड्स. व्हाटसोएवर फंड्स यू हैव एक्वायर्ड, यू नीड टू invest that funds properly. Then financing decision, like how you get that funds. Then it improves the profitability. Once you have acquired the funds, आपने वो funds अच्छे से employ कर दिए, तो वो obviously it will generate profits for the business. When your profits are being generated, what will happen? Your value of the firm will increase, because you will have ample funds with you for you can say investing in other things also, or you can say diversification. Then it will basically increase the value of the firms, and this will promote savings. So this is what we have covered with the first unit. Now I'll start with the revision of the second unit. Give me a second, let me share that screen also. I hope the first unit is now being completed and it is being understood All of you have understood this because it's a
Yes,
revision.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
yeah, today only I'll give the PDFs. Okay, now I'll start with this. What is the meaning of the working capital? Working capital itself means current assets minus current liability. Okay, ये आपको simple terms में पता है. Basically, we require funds, or you can say the capital under two heading. The first one is a fixed capital, the capital which is used for long-term investment. The funds which you employ in the assets, or you can say the purchasing of the fixed assets, then the land, machinery, they become the part of a fixed assets. They are non-recurring. Once these things are being occurred, fixed capital जो होता है एक बार हुआ वो हर बार आप रीइन्वेस्ट नहीं करते. एक बार आपने बिल्डिंग अपनी स्टार्टअप कर लिया, आपने अपना प्लांट सेटअप कर लिया, यू कैन इंक्रीज द कैपेसिटी ओनली. ठीक है, आपने नया कोई मशीनरी लाया, बट ये तो नहीं है ना आप हर दिन आज आपका फंड आपने प्लांट सेटअप किया जम्मू में एंड द नेक्स्ट मंथ यू डिसाइड टू सेटअप इन अनदर लोकेशन. नो. सो बेसिकली द फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फंड्स आर वेरी ह्यूज, बहुत ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट होती है, and they are basically non-recurring, they don't repeat. Okay, then the working capital is the capital which is needing for day-to-day requirement. So the day-to-day requirement means payment to creditors, sellers, salary which is being paid to the workers, so they become the part of the working capital. It consists of recurring in nature because they are something which are basically mainly on monthly basis, quarterly basis, or the yearly basis. Okay, so that are the things which come into existence. Now, what is the definition of a working capital? So working capital refer to a firm's investments in short-term assets, cash security, amount receivable, and inventory. Okay, so basically the parts which are being included for the short term. Any acquisition of fund which increases the current asset increase the working capital for day one and the same. Basically, अगर आप कोई भी current asset purchase करते हो तो आपकी working capital बेटा increase होती है. And if you spend something on the current liabilities, it will decrease your working capital. So the working capital, there are basically two concepts: the gross working capital and the net working capital. What is a gross working capital? Gross का मतलब होता है पूरा. Gross means it is a general concept which determines the working capital. So the gross working capital is the total current asset. Whatsoever is the total current asset, जितने भी आपके business में लगे हैं, that comes into the existence of the gross working capital. And the net working capital means current assets minus current liability. ठीक है, अभी आप क्या करते हो, जितने भी आपके करंट एसेट्स है उसमें से आप करंट लाइबिलिटीज को डिडक्ट करते हो, दैट इज योर नेट वर्किंग कैपिटल. नाउ I have shown in this chart what are the headings under which the current assets come. Current assets में बेटा क्या क्या आएगा आपका? First is the cash, then marketable securities, account receivable, notes receivable. That are basically you can say the assets for the shorter period. Then the current liabilities, bank indebtedness, account payable, which are being paid on a regular basis. So this is the basic the classification. Now the types of working capital. First one I have completed the gross and net, but we can also you can say classify on the basis of the time. Permanent working capital mean it is the fixed working capital. The capital must contain certain at a minimum level at all times. That means this fund is being there employed in the business at all the time. So it is known as the permanent fixed capital. Temporary working capital means the working capital which is there for a shorter period, like seasonal variation हो गई या कोई special project आपके पास आ गया, उसके लिए जो working capital आपको चाहिए, that is the temporary working capital. Now what is the seasonal working capital means? To meet the seasonal demands, woolen garments, coolers in summers. So these are the seasonal requirements. Specific working capital means to meet the part of a capital for meeting unforeseen conditions. This is strike के time पे, earthquake के time पे, flood के time पे जो specific working requirement है, that are the specific working requirement. Now the next is the need of the working capital. Why you need the funds? First is the purchase of raw material and spares. So this is very, you can say, a starting point of your manufacturing. It should be, you can say, the need which is basically in the business. अभी आपको कुछ भी production start करना है, you need to purchase the raw material. Hence, every company need to maintain some working capital to meet this requirement of the raw material and the spares. Then come the payment of wages and salaries. So wages and salaries are something which are to be paid on regular basis. So to pay that amount, you need the working capital. That is the payment of the wages and salary. That is why we need working capital, because we have to pay our persons which are being employed in our organization. We need to pay the wages for them. Then is the day-to-day expenses like fuel. Suppose you have a DG in your business. Generator, so you need diesel for that. So that is something which is a working capital requirement. You need it on a regular basis. So for to meet that, you need a working capital. Then is to provide the credit obligation. A business responsible to provide credit facility to customer and meet the short-term obligation, whatsoever short-term obligations are being there. Now working capital, balanced working capital position. What are the causes, or you can say how the excess or the under working capital basically impact your organization? You need to have a proper amount of working capital. Neither you should have over, neither you should have under. ना ज़्यादा होना अच्छा है, ना under होना अच्छा है. Excessive working capital lead to unnecessary accumulation of raw material. अभी क्या है, आप अपनी requirement देखते हो, उसके हिसाब से रखोगे funds, तो obviously it is better. अगर आप excess में रखोगे तो क्या होगा, आपका funds waste ही पड़ा है ना आपके पास. अगर आपको raw material requirement 1 या 2 महीने की extra रखना is beneficial, but if you deploy the funds, आपने 1 year का raw material में funds अभी invest करके रख दिया, that is basically the wastage of money. Then is excessive working capital result in the lack of the excess locking up of excess working capital, because your funds are being employed in a non-profitable thing. वो आपके लिए प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं है, आपके लिए नॉन प्रॉफिटेबल हो गया, आपने अननेसेसरली पैसा उसमें ब्लॉक कर दिया. इट क्रिएट bad debts, reduce the collection period, and it leads to the reduction of profit. Because आपका funds unemployed है, आपका funds profitably आपने invest नहीं किया, तो आपको क्या होगा, obviously loss होगा. Now what are the causes, or you can say inadequate working capital? अगर आपके पास working capital requirement जितनी थी, आपने उससे कम funds रखा, so what will happen? It may, you can say, you can't buy its requirement in the bulk order. So you will not be able to meet the raw material requirement. Then it becomes difficult to operate the operating plans. आपका जितना प्रॉफिट का टारगेट आप वो अचीव नहीं कर सकते, बिकॉज एवरी टाइम अगर आपको रॉ मटेरियल की कंजम्पशन के लिए चाहिए रिक्वायरमेंट, आपके पास वर्किंग वो ही नहीं था, वर्किंग कैपिटल ही नहीं था, तो क्या हुआ, आप वो ले ही नहीं पाए और आपकी प्रोडक्शन क्या हो गई, रुक गई, तो आपका प्रॉफिट ऑब्वियसली रुक गया, प्रॉफिट उसे हैम्पर हुआ. नाउ इट लीड टू द utilized efficiently, it becomes impossible to use the fixed asset effectively, because you will not be able to use the fixed asset properly until you have the working capital with you. Okay, अभी क्या हो गया, आपके पास रॉ मटेरियल ही नहीं था, तो फिक्स्ड एसेट्स तो वैसे ही पड़ी थी, लैंड मशीनरी तो है, बट आपके पास वर्किंग कैपिटल ही नहीं था जिससे आपने रॉ मटेरियल लिया, तो उससे क्या हुआ, वो फिक्स्ड एसेट भी अननेसेसरी ही वेस्टेज हुआ उसका. So it reduced the overall operation. So on the basis of this, what you can decide, neither it is beneficial to have over capitalization or neither it is beneficial to have under. So you have to find out the proper mix. Okay. Now what is the factors which affect the working capital? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Let me have water, then I'll start with the other topic. Okay, then comes the factors which affect the working capital. First is the nature of the business. Nature of the business means you need to find out the operating cycle. अभी कैसे है, mostly they are service companies, ठीक है, अभी उसमें क्या रहता है, operating जो cycle होता है वो बहुत उनका वो क्या रहता है, tell me. अभी सर्विस कंपनीज कैसे रहती हैं, अगर आपने रेस्टोरेंट्स देखे हो, ये सब देखा हो, तो उनकी वर्किंग कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट कम रहेगी. क्यों? क्योंकि उनका ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल कम रहता है. ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल कैसे कम रहता है, आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में गए, आपने खाना खाया, साथ के साथ कैश पे किया, वापस आ गए, तो उनका ऑपरेटिंग साइकिल कितना कम है, सिर्फ सब्जी लाना, जो भी वहां पे खाने का सामान लाना, उसको बनाना और आपको सर्व करना, and you pay them the cash immediately. So that is why the nature of the business. But suppose you are into production, then your operating cycle will be long. पहले आप रॉ मटेरियल लोगे, उसको प्रोसेस करोगे, फिर उसका सेल होगा, then it will reach you. So your circle is basically long. So the more you can say, the long the operating cycle it is, so you will have to maintain more working capital with you. Then come the production policy. The production policy means that is adopted in case a product have seasonal demand. So a steady production can be planned throughout the year, in which case finished goods are to be kept for a longer period. अगर आपको बहुत ज्यादा लंबे टाइम के लिए वो रखना है, तो obviously आपको working capital requirement ज्यादा होगी. A company, now the credit policy. If you can see, if you are basically providing more credit to your customer, that means you will have less funds with you. अगर आप sales को credit पे देते हो और वो आप बोलते हो कि ठीक है आप 2 महीने के बाद पैसा दे देना, तो by the time 2 महीने में आपकी बाकी रिक्वायरमेंट को मीट करने के लिए आपको क्या, किस पे डिपेंड होना पड़ेगा, वर्किंग कैपिटल. सो इफ योर क्रेडिट पॉलिसी इज लिबरल, दैट मीन्स अगर आप क्रेडिट बहुत ज्यादा अपने कस्टमर्स को देते हो, तो आपको वर्किंग कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट ज्यादा रहती है. Then is the inventory policy. So inventory policy mean, tell me. Inventory policy means like how you are using your funds in the inventory. An efficient firm may stock raw material for a small period and therefore require less amount of a working capital. So they are employing less funds in the raw material. Then is the abnormal factor. So abnormal factor means if there are strikes, there are a labor wage. So what will happen? You will have to use more, you will have to depend more on the working capital, because उस टाइम में आपका क्या होता है, इतनी जल्दी फंड्स आते नहीं है, so you more and more depend on the working capital. Then is the market condition. In case competitive pressure, Large inventory is essential as delivery has to be on the shelf or credit has to be extended on the liberal term. Suppose it depends basically on the competition you are facing in the market. So now the business cycle, that means you lead to cyclical and seasonal changes. उसके हिसाब से आपकी वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंज होती है. अगर किसी सीजनल डिमांड को मीट करने के लिए आपको चाहिए, then you will require more working capital at that particular time. Then is the growth and expansion. So growth in terms of sales. Suppose if you are growing in the terms of sales, the more and more working capital will be required by you. So this is how you can say these are the various factors which are impacting your working capital. So these are basically कौन से business में आपने कितना पैसा लगाया है, ये सब आपको impact करता है. Okay. Now working capital financing, that means from where you have to get the funds. वर्किंग कैपिटल रिक्वायरमेंट मीट करने के लिए आपको फंड्स कहाँ से लेने हैं. अभी कहाँ से ले सकते हो. द फर्स्ट इज द ट्रेड क्रेडिट. इट मींस अ फर्म गेट फ्रॉम सप्लायर व्हेन दे बाय रॉ मटेरियल. अभी आपने रॉ मटेरियल लिया, कस्टमर ने आपको क्रेडिट दे दिया. ओके, पे अस आफ्टर 5 months, पे अस आफ्टर 6 months. So this is a credit which is being given to you by your creditors. So this is the form of a credit which is being given, and it becomes a, you can say, you can finance your business accordingly. So then come the bank credit that I have already explained. So these are basically the things which are already being discussed, and they are on a very smaller note. Bank credit here means the bank overdraft. You go into the bank and avail the facility of a bank overdraft so that you can use those funds with your working capital. So these are basically the sources. Then is discounting of a bill, cash credit. So I don't think I need to get into all these things. Okay. Now we will start with the numerical aspect. All of you have that PDF with you, the numerical theory, which I have shared.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay. Now see the difference which is being written over there very clearly. जब भी आपको वर्किंग कैपिटल का क्वेश्चन आएगा, आपको दो पार्ट आते हैं. एक तो आपको आता है कि आपको टोटल कॉस्ट अप्रोच यूज करना है, दूसरा आता है कैश कॉस्ट अप्रोच. अगर आपको कुछ भी क्वेश्चन में मेंशन नहीं है कि आपको कौन सा यूज करना है, then you will use cash cost approach. But if it is clearly mentioned in the question that you need to follow the total cost approach, only then you will follow that. Okay. So what is the difference between there is in the total cost you include depreciation. देखो work in progress के टाइम पे हम क्या करते हैं बेटा, वहां पे depreciation को include करते हैं, but cash cost approach में हम depreciation को include नहीं करते हैं. अगर फिनिश गुड्स कैलकुलेट करते हैं वहां पे भी हम टोटल कॉस्ट में डेप्रिसिएशन इंक्लूड करते हैं. And at the time of sundry debtors, what we'll do, we will include the profit. But cash cost में ना हम depreciation को part मानते हैं, ना ही profit को मानते हैं. Okay. Now I'll start with the first numerical. Just a second, I'll tell you which numerical I'm going to take. I'll take one numerical for the this total and one for the cash cost. Just wait. Okay, I'll take this problem number 3. Okay. Before that, I'll start with this, just a second. Okay, fine. First, I'll take up the problem number 1 so that it becomes a bit easy for you people. So all of you have this PDF with you, and I'll start with the whiteboard. Okay, now you people tell me, the first thing we will start is the current assets. Okay, current assets. सबसे पहले starting point हमारा होता है current assets. So what will be the first thing we will write in the current assets? सबसे पहली चीज क्या आती है current asset में हमारे पास?
Raw material.
Yes, you will have to calculate the raw material. Now see in the question, what is the raw material cost per unit? कितना दिया है बेटा? 20. How much is the total number of units? That is 2,40,000. Okay. Now they have written that it is the policy of the company to maintain the stock of raw material equal to 1 month production. That means 1/12. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So it will come around 4 lakh rupees. Done with the raw material. Now we will have to calculate the work in progress. For the work in progress, what you have to do is, first you have to calculate the raw material. ठीक है, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस में 3 पार्ट होते हैं. पहला होता है रॉ मटेरियल, फिर होता है लेबर, फिर होता है ओवरहेड. ठीक है, ये 3 चीजें हमें उसमें कैलकुलेट करनी होती हैं. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग इज द रॉ मटेरियल. कितना है? 20. नाउ व्हाट इज द टोटल नंबर ऑफ यूनिट? 2,40,000. नाउ व्हाट इज गिवन? half month production will remain in process throughout the year. Half month production, that means 0.5 divided by 12. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Always remember, raw material we take at 100% in work in progress. Labor और overhead हम कितने % पे लेते हैं?
50%.
50% पे. ठीक है. Now we have to calculate the direct labor. So what is the cost given? 5. Number of units is 2,40,000. Half month production into 50%. This will give you the direct labor. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
you will
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
calculate the overhead. How you have to proceed? Overhead cost is 15 rupees. Number of units is 2,40,000. Half month production is being there, and 50% of this. By adding raw material, labor, and overhead, you will get the work in progress. Okay. Now you have to calculate the finished goods. Okay. How you have to calculate the finished goods? कितना है finished goods का cost? Total cost of production कितना है? 40. Finished goods में हम कौन सी cost लेते हैं? Total cost of production. ठीक है. 20 plus 5 plus 15 is equal to 40. अभी कितने units थे? 2,40,000. For finished goods remain in warehouse on an average 1 month. That is 1/12. This will give you the finished goods. Now you have to move to the debtors. What is given for the debtors? Debtors के लिए बेटा क्या दिया है उन्होंने? The company sells its goods on credit and allows a 2-month credit to its customer. कितना credit देती है? 2 months का. अभी कितना बेटा आएगा debtors के लिए? हमारा पार्ट कितना आएगा? 40. अभी हमने इसमें प्रॉफिट इंक्लूड नहीं किया. दैट मीन्स वी आर वर्किंग ऑन कैश कॉस्ट अप्रोच बेसिस. मैंने आपको बोला है अगर क्वेश्चन में कुछ भी नहीं दिया तो हम कैश कॉस्ट अप्रोच पे चलते हैं अनटिल और अनलेस क्लियरली दिया हो. ठीक है. सो द 40 विल बी आवर कॉस्ट. हाउ मेनी यूनिट्स आर देयर? 2,40,000. into 2/12 because the material is hold on 2 months. कितना 2 months का credit देते हैं ना हम सब अपने customers को. So this will give us the debtors. Now we will move to the next, that is the current liability. So the first thing will be our sorry, creditors. So the creditors will be how much amount for the creditors? कितना है बेटा creditors का amount? क्रेडिटर्स किस पे होंगे बेटा? जो आपने रॉ मटेरियल बेचा है उसी के लिए क्रेडिट मिला होगा ना आपको. कितना है? 20.
Yes, ma'am.
Number of units is 2,40,000. And the supplier of raw material provide a 3-month credit. That means 3/12. Now see, there is written the period of lag for wages and overhead is 1 month. अभी wages का कितना lag है? 1 month. Wages कितने थे? 5. Number of units 2,40,000. How much lag is there? 1 month. Same way you have to calculate for the overhead. Overhead cost कितनी है? 15. Number of units 2,40,000 into 1/12. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now we have covered with our first, that is the cash cost approach पे कैसे करना है. ठीक है बेटा. अभी मैं आपको सेकंड क्वेश्चन बताती हूँ. सेकंड प्रॉब्लम नंबर 2 ही देखो बेटा. मैं एक बार मेन सब करवाती हूँ बिकॉज उसमें हमने मंथ्स लिए थे, इसमें हम वीक्स लेने वाले हैं. प्रॉब्लम नंबर 2. अगर आपको बेटा क्लियरली कभी भी नहीं दिया कि वीक्स कितने लेने हैं, इसमें कैसे क्वेश्चन में मेंशन किया है कि टोटल वीक्स 52 हैं. अगर नहीं दिया तो आप 48 भी ले सकते हो और 52. यू जस्ट हैव टू राइट अ नोट कि मैंने 48 1 ईयर में लिया है, 48 वीक्स इन अ ईयर और 52 वीक्स इन अ ईयर. बट अगर क्वेश्चन में दिया है तो जो दिया है आपको वही लेना है. Now we will start with the first one, that is the raw material. So the how much is the raw material? 40. Number of units 1,04,000. Raw material in stock is for average 4 weeks, that is 4 divided by 52. Is it clear? Now we will move to the next, that is the work in progress. समझ में आया बेटा ये पहला?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. अभी रॉ मटेरियल कितना है? 40. कितना है नंबर ऑफ यूनिट्स आपके? 1,04,000. And work in progress is average 2 weeks, that means 2 divided by 52. This is for the raw material under the heading work in progress. Now what we have to calculate? Work in progress में अभी next part क्या calculate करेंगे हम? Direct labor. So what is the labor part? 15 rupees into 1,04,000 into how many time is given? 2 weeks. 2 by 52. And what percentage you have to calculate? कितना परसेंट लेते हैं इसका हम? 50%.
50%.
In progress में direct labor 50%. Same way you have to calculate for the overhead. Overhead में बेटा देखो उसमें clear क्या दिया है? It include depreciation. अभी हम इसमें यहाँ पे कहीं पे भी नहीं दिया कि हम total cost approach पे चल रहे हैं, तो हम ये 5 rupees को क्या करेंगे? overhead में से डिडक्ट करेंगे, माइनस करेंगे. तो ओवरहेड कितने हो जाएंगे? 25. 30 में से 5 रुपए डेप्रिसिएशन के माइनस कर दो. ठीक है, बिकॉज कैश कॉस्ट पे हम उसको नहीं लेते हैं. नाउ इट विल बी 25 into 1,04,000 into 2 divided by 52 and 50% for this. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you have to calculate the finished goods. So how much is the stock for the finished goods? Finished goods का stock कितना है बेटा आपको दिया हुआ? Finished goods in stock on an average 4 weeks. So what will be the total cost? कितना दिया है आपको? 85. But हम इसमें से depreciation minus करेंगे जब भी हम cash cost approach लेंगे. Cash cost पे हमने कितना लिया? 80 into 1,04,000 4 weeks divided by 52. This will give you finished goods. Now we will calculate the creditors. Okay. Now you have to calculate the creditors. अभी creditors किस पे आएंगे आपके? Raw material पे. कितना है raw material? 40. How much time is being allowed? Sorry, मैंने उसमें शायद debtors calculate नहीं किए ना बेटा. Sorry, मैंने debtors उसमें calculate नहीं करे. पिछले current assets में debtors भी तो include करने हैं ना. मैं debtors कितने हैं हमारे पास? Credit allowed to customer is around 6 weeks. So how much is the credit? कितना cost था? Same way 85 minus 5. Total cost of production कितना हो गया? 80. So 80 into 1,04,000 into 6 divided by 52. ये आपकी figure आएगी debtors की. Clear? Now
Yes.
we will calculate the creditors. So what is the creditors? Credit allowed by supplier 4 weeks. So the raw material into number of units into 4 weeks divided by 52. This is for the creditors. Now you can see there is a written one thing that lag in the payment of wages is 1.5 weeks. So the wages is 15 into 104, 1,04,000. 1.5 weeks, that is 1.5 divided by 52. This will give you the figures for the wages. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just wait. Now let me have water, then I'll start with the numerical. Okay, fine. Now we will start with the other thing, that is the total cost approach. Okay, अभी total cost approach का बेटा मैं अभी आपको क्वेश्चन कराती हूँ. Now look into the problem number 7. Problem number 7 I'm going to show. The first thing that is given is the raw material. Just a second. A performer, okay, raw material. So first thing that comes under is the raw material. Raw material कितना है बेटा? Cost कितना है? 20.
20.
Okay, and the total number of units is 52,000. Average raw material in stock is for 1 month, that is 1 divided by 12. Okay, now second thing that you have to calculate is the work in progress. So how you have to calculate the work in progress? What is the units? Raw material 20 into number of units is 52,000. And work in progress is for half a month, that is 0.5 divided by 12. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now for the work in progress, we have to calculate the direct labor. Okay. So how much is the direct labor? 8 rupees. Okay. And number of units is 52,000. And the average remains in the month is the half a month, that is 0.5 divided by 12 into 50%. Clear?
Yes.
Now
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have to calculate the overhead. Now listen to me very carefully. Overheads. Same way you have to calculate. Overheads कितने बेटा? 15 into 52,000. Half a month. Okay. Into 50%. Okay. इसका बेटा 50% हो गया. अभी ये आपका work in progress हो गया. Now you have to calculate the finished goods. So what is the amount given for finished goods? Finished goods कितना है बेटा? Total cost कितना दिया है आपको? 43 दिया है.
43. Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. 52,000 is the total number of units into finished goods in stock on an average 1 month, that is 1 divided by 12. Okay. Now you have to calculate the debtors. So this debtors part, you listen to me. Whenever there is a total cost approach, it include profit. It include profit. अभी profit हम इसमें include करेंगे. ठीक है. अभी कितना था आपका total cost था 43. Profit कितना है बेटा उसमें 7. So अब debtors आप किस पे calculate करोगे 50 rupees पे. ठीक है. 50 into 52,000. How much is the credit being given? For how much time? It's the 2 months. Credit allowed to debtors is for 2 months. That is 2 divided by 12. Okay. This will give you the figures for the debtors. Now, for the current liabilities, what you have to calculate? Creditors. Creditors कैसे calculate करोगे बेटा? Creditors तो हमेशा raw material पे calculate करोगे ना? Raw material कितना है आपका?
Yes, madam.
20 into 52,000. And how much is the time? 1 month. It is 1 divided by 12. Okay. Now there is given time like itna payment of wages is 1 month. So wages 8. Wages. Okay. So it is 8 into 52,000. So how much time? 1 by 12. Okay. This is for the wages. Now the last that is given is the overhead. How you have to calculate the overhead? First, you have to calculate the overhead. It's given 15 into how many units are there? 52,000. For how much time? 1 by 12. That is for the 1 month. Is it clear? This way we have to calculate in the total cost approach. Total cost approach पे हम ऐसे calculate करते हैं. ठीक है? अभी समझ में आया ये difference दोनों का?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If any one of you still face any problem, just let me know so that I explain. But ये न्यूमेरिकल आपका क्वेश्चन गलत नहीं होना चाहिए बिकॉज ये बहुत छोटा क्वेश्चन है और उसमें ऐसा कुछ भी एस्पेक्ट नहीं है जो आपको क्लियर नहीं हुआ है. और अगर अभी भी चाहते हो आई विल टेक अप विद मोर न्यूमेरिकल्स, बट प्लीज बी वेरी क्लियर विद दिस क्वेश्चंस. Okay, we have done with this. Now the last thing that I'll try to explain, I'll take one more numerical for this only. ठीक है, एक numerical और मैं लेती हूँ बेटा total cost का ही. Okay, we'll start with the problem number 9. Now, what is given? First, we have to calculate the. First, we have to calculate the raw material. सबसे पहले starting point हमारा वही रहता है, raw material. Raw material कितना है बेटा उसमें क्वेश्चन में दिया प्रॉब्लम नंबर 9 में is 10 rupees. Number of units is 40,000. What is given? Average raw material in stock is for 1 month. That is 1 divided by 12. Okay. Now you have to calculate the work in progress. How you have to calculate the work in progress? So what is given for the work in progress? Raw material cost is 10. Number of units is 40,000. Okay. Now, what is given for the work in progress? It is half a month. That means 0.5 divided by 12. Okay. Now you have to calculate direct labor. So what is given for the direct labor? 4 into number of units is 40,000. Half a month. So it will be on an average, okay, half a month, that is 0.5 divided by 12. And this will be 50%. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the last that will be there is the overheads. So the overheads will be 6 into number of units, half a month, and 50% for this. Clear? Now you have to calculate the finished goods. So what will be the total cost for the finished goods? Finished goods 20. And the number of units is 40,000. So for finished goods, they have told you, finished goods, you have told that it's on an average 1 month. That is 1 divided by 12. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you have to look into the debtors part. Debtors बेटा कितने आएंगे आपके debtors में? मुझे एक बात बताओ, टोटल कॉस्ट में मैंने क्या बोला था, इसमें क्या इंक्लूड करना है हमें? टोटल कॉस्ट में क्या इंक्लूड करते हैं बेटा डेटर्स के टाइम पे? जब हम टोटल कॉस्ट अप्रोच लेते हैं, टोटल कॉस्ट प्लस प्रॉफिट, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, ठीक है?
Yes, ma'am.
जब हम टोटल कॉस्ट अप्रोच लेते हैं, हम इसमें प्रॉफिट ऐड करते हैं. सो डेटर्स कैलकुलेट करने हैं अभी हमें. दैट विल बी 20 प्लस 5 rupees ऑफ प्रॉफिट. सो डेटर्स विल बी कैलकुलेट 25 into 40,000. So how much credit is being allowed to debtors? That is 2 months, 2 by 12. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
You have to calculate the creditors. Creditors बेटा किस पे calculate करोगे? Raw material में. Raw material कितना था आपका? 10. Number of units कितने थे आपके? 40,000. ठीक है. अभी उसने बेटा आपको क्या दिया है? उसने credit allowed by supplier is 1 month. कितना आपको मिलता है? 1 month. 1 divided by 12. Okay. Now you have to calculate the last thing, that is for the wages and the overhead. Wages and overhead कितना time lag के बाद है? 1 month. नोट दिया है ना नीचे. तो wages कितने थे? 4. Number of units were 40,000. And the lag is for 1 month. That is 1 divided by 12. Now you have to calculate the overhead. How much overhead are being there? Overhead कितने हैं बेटा आपको दिए हुए? 6. Number of units is 40,000. Number of months is 1 month. That is 1 divided by 12. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So I'll ask you certain question. I'll see how much of you have understood. Okay. It will be just a, I mean, you can just answer me. Okay. I'll tell you the part and then you can explain me. Just a second. The ultimate goal of the concern is to improve the market value of its share. Just listen to me very carefully. The ultimate goal of the concern is to improve the market value of the share. ठीक है? What is it? अगर ये आपको बोला जाए to increase the market value, okay, to increase the market value of the share, tell me ultimate goal of the concern अगर आपको बोले to increase the market value of the share, what it will be? Wealth maximization या profit maximization? If some concern has an ultimate goal, उसका goal है to increase the market value of its share, so वो क्या होगा? Wealth maximization या profit maximization? Tell me. If some concern किसी business का goal है to increase the market value of its share, what it will be? Market value share की बढ़ानी है, तो वो क्या profit maximization है या wealth maximization है?
Profit maximization.
Profit maximization.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Pratiksha?
And profit maximization.
Jayashri?
Profit maximization.
आप लोगों ने क्वेश्चन सुना था ध्यान से? मैंने क्या बोला था? मैंने क्या बोला था? योर गोल इज टू मैक्सिमाइज द वैल्यू ऑफ योर शेयर. शेयर किस में मैक्सिमाइज करते हैं? शेयर वैल्यू ऑफ किस में मैक्सिमाइज होती है? वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइजेशन में नहीं होता.
होता है.
फिर प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन गोल कैसे हो गया आपका?
मार्केट वैल्यू बढ़ानी है.
हाँ, तो मार्केट वैल्यू शेयर्स की तभी बढ़ेगी ना जब आपकी वेल्थ मैक्सिमाइज होगी. You need to listen to the question very carefully. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. These are the question which you should understand. आपको MCQ बेटा ऐसे ही आने वाले हैं. Funds required decision. आपको बिजनेस में कितने फंड्स चाहिए? Okay, now listen to me very carefully. Fund requirement decision are called. मैंने आपको 3 तरह के डिसीजन बताए थे बेटा बिजनेस में. ठीक है, इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन, फाइनेंसिंग डिसीजन, डिविडेंड डिसीजन. नाउ यू टेल मी, फंड रिक्वायरमेंट डिसीजन इज कॉल्ड फाइनेंसिंग डिसीजन, इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन या डिविडेंड पॉलिसी डिसीजन? कौन सा होता है?
फाइनेंस डिसीजन.
Financial
फाइनेंस
decision.
डिसीजन.
ओके. डैश डिसीजन आर रिलेटेड विद द सिलेक्शन ऑफ एसेट. एसेट सिलेक्शन बेटा किसमें होती है? फाइनेंसिंग, इन्वेस्टमेंट, डिविडेंड.
Investment.
Yes, investment. Finance manager role include, okay, नहीं ये रहने दो. Okay, basically deal with the acquiring of funds. Acquisition of funds बेटा किसका पार्ट है? Financing, investment, dividend, fund requirement. Acquisition of funds किसका पार्ट है बेटा? Financing, investment, dividend.
फाइनेंसिंग.
Yes, finance is like कि आपको फंड्स कहाँ से लेने हैं. ठीक है. Okay, arrangement of funds is called finance, money, asset. Arrangement of funds.
Finance.
Finance.
Yes. Dash is concerned with raising money, distribution of money in the field of industry. Money or business finance?
Business.
Business finance.
Yes.
Business finance.
Business.
Yes, business finance. The goal of financial management is profit maximization, wealth maximization. Yeah, both.
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 Yes.
Both.
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 Yes, clearly. The long run objective of financial management is to maximize earning per share or to maximize return on investment. Okay, no, I mean, बहुत सारे options हैं. Okay, leave it. Approach of financial management can be classified into 2 categories. 1 category, 3 category. Approach of financial management.
Two approach.
Okay.
Two category.
2 categories. Good. Traditional approach consists of arrangement of funds through various financial instruments, finding out various source of fund, or all of the above. Listen to me. Traditional approach consists of arrangement of funds from lending body, arrangement of funds through financial instrument, finding out source of fund. Fourth, all of the above.
All of the above.
Yes, all of the above बेटा, क्योंकि सब में हम अरेंज कर रहे हैं ना, तो सभी इसका वो है. ठीक है. The main limitation of traditional approach is it ignored routine problem and it ignored working capital. No emphasis on allocation of money. C, time value is not considered. Fourth, all. Limitation of traditional approach beta. It ignored routine problem and routine working capital problem. Emphasis on allocation. C, time value is not considered. Fourth, all of the above. ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच का बेटा लिमिटेशन क्या था? ये चारों ही तीनों ही बेटा उसके वो थे ना, लिमिटेशन थे. रूटीन प्रॉब्लम को भी वो इग्नोर करता था, एलोकेशंस पे बिल्कुल भी ध्यान नहीं दिया था, सिर्फ अरेंजमेंट ऑफ फंड्स पे ध्यान था, एंड टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ मनी इज आल्सो नॉट कंसिडर्ड. ओके, सो ऑल ऑफ द अबव. इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, just a second. Now let me ask you from the working capital. Okay. Working capital is calculated as working capital is equal to current asset minus current liabilities. Working capital is equal to current assets plus current liability. Working capital is equal to total assets minus current liabilities.
Current asset.
Current asset
Current asset
minus
minus
Current
current liabilities.
Yes, current assets minus current liabilities. Working capital is defined as excess of total assets over current liabilities, excess of current assets over current liabilities. Tell me. वर्किंग कैपिटल क्या है बेटा? एक्सेस ऑफ टोटल एसेट्स ओवर करंट लायबिलिटीज या एक्सेस ऑफ करंट एसेट्स ओवर करंट लायबिलिटीज?
Excess of current asset or current liability.
Working capital ratio is also called recurring capital, regular capital.
Recurring capital.
Recurring capital.
Yes, it is known as circulating capital. Okay. There are two concepts of working capital: gross working capital, net working capital, recurring capital, regular working capital, circulating capital और fixed capital. What are the two concepts of working capital बेटा जो हमने पढ़े थे?
net and gross.
Yes, net and gross. The short-term sources of working capital are sorry, I got disconnected. Sorry. Okay. Now the short source working capital sources क्या है बेटा? मतलब current assets के trade credit, credit papers, commercial papers,
Bills.
बैंक credit. हाँ बेटा ये एक ही ऑप्शन. ओके ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन मैं आपको दूंगी तभी समझ में आएगा, सामने रहेगा तो बेटा. एक सेकेंड. द डेंजर ऑफ इनएडुकेट वर्किंग कैपिटल. ठीक है, अगर इनएडुकेट वर्किंग कैपिटल है बेटा उसका डेंजर क्या है? टेल मी. स्टैग्नेशन ऑफ ग्रोथ, ग्रोथ नहीं होगी. ऑपरेटिंग इनएफिशिएंसी, इनएफिशिएंसीज होंगी. Alternative credit option can't be availed. Fourth, all of the above.
All of the
above.
All of the above. ठीक है. The factors affecting the size of working capital are nature of the business, size of the business. Second, purchase and sales, seasonality. C, dividend policy, cash requirement. D, all of the above.
all of
Factors
the above. All of the above.
सभी चीजें इफेक्ट करती हैं बेटा. On the basis of concept of working capital may be divided into gross working capital and net working capital. On the basis of concept, अगर बेटा कभी भी आपसे पूछे on the basis of context तो क्या है, तो आप दो में डिवाइड कर सकते हो, ग्रॉस और नेट वर्किंग में. ठीक है. फिक्स्ड और जो वेरिएबल है वो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ टाइम है. ठीक है.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dash is represented by total current assets, gross working capital, net working capital.
Gross working.
Yes, gross working capital. It is basically the total of all the current assets. The fixed working capital is also called as permanent working capital, regular working capital, or authorized working capital.
Permanent working capital.
Permanent working capital.
Yes. It is also called as the regular working capital. ठीक है बेटा?
Yes, ma'am.
In the method of working capital estimation, if depreciation is excluded, so is it total cost or cash cost? If depreciation is excluded,
Cash
Cash cost.
Cash cost.
Cash cost.
yeah. And if we include both the depreciation and the profit margin, it is which approach?
Total cost.
Yes, very good. Now you people have understood the concept. So working capital is classified on the basis of concept, periodicity. Okay, I'll share this PDF. That refers to the length of time allowed by a firm for customer to make payment. Is known as holding period, payback period, or average collection period. Time allowed by firm for customer to make payment. जो हम कस्टमर को टाइम अलाउ करते हैं बेटा पेमेंट के पे करने के लिए, उसको क्या कहते हैं? क्रेडिट पीरियड, पेबैक पीरियड, होल्डिंग पीरियड.
पेबैक पीरियड.
क्रेडिट पीरियड. आप उसको क्रेडिट दे रहे हो ना? ठीक है. Now I'll ask one last question. The extra working capital which is needed to support the changing business activity is called as fluctuating working capital, working capital, recurring capital.
Recurring.
It's a question suno. Extra working capital needed to support the changing business condition. Fluctuating working capital, working.
Fluctuate.
Yes, fluctuate हो रहा है तो बेटा fluctuating working capital है, ठीक है? The dash is the amount of cash you must have available or have access to, as you have planned, is known as the emergency fund, additional reserve, contingencies reserve. अगर आपका कुछ भी आपने जो प्लान किया है वो हुआ नहीं, वो कैश जो आप अपने पास रखते हो उसको आप क्या बोलते हो बेटा? कंटीजेंसी रिजर्व बोलते हो, क्योंकि किसी भी चेंजिंग कंडीशन को मीट करने के लिए जो फंड्स हम अपने पास रखते हैं उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? कंटीजेंसी रिजर्व. ठीक है. The time interval between paying of raw material and collection on sales of finished goods. जो टाइम आपने रॉ मटेरियल परचेज किया, उसके पैसे पे किया और कलेक्ट किया जो फिनिश गुड्स से, मतलब जब आपको सेल्स के बाद पैसा आया, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? इन्वेंट्री साइकिल, मैचिंग साइकिल, कैश कन्वर्जन साइकिल. दैट इज द कैश कन्वर्जन.
Cash conversion.
हाँ, क्योंकि आपका कैश उसमें कन्वर्ट हो रहा है ना बेटा, उसको कैश कन्वर्शन कहते हैं. ठीक है. That begins with the acquisition of raw material and ends with the collection of receivables. उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Begins with acquisition of raw material and ends with the collection of receivables. ठीक है. उसको आप क्या बोलते हो? Operating cycle, trade cycle, business cycle. Operating cycle. ठीक है. You need to remember this. What is a operating cycle? Okay. ये छोटी छोटी टर्म्स आपको बेटा लर्न होनी चाहिए क्वेश्चंस में. इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
we have revised our 2 units. Okay. Now I'll circulate the material with you people.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. We will meet in our next lecture now. Okay. Take care.
Okay, ma'am.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.